Hi Jamie, thank you very much for doing an interview today for our Martial Art of the Month, Taekwondo. Could we start with you telling us a little bit about yourself and your background and how and when you started in Taekwondo?
Hi, thanks for coming along. My name's Jamie Woodland, and I started Taekwondo in 1994, back with the TAGB and under Master Duke from Bristol, and continued training since then and opened my own school 2001.
Brilliant. Have you studied any other martial arts, and if so, has it affected you and would you recommend it?
I originally started in judo way back, and really enjoyed it, and got involved with competitions, and unfortunately at the time broke my leg, which then after that they wouldn't let me compete and get involved with the sparring, so I later moved to Taekwondo. About 15 years ago I started training kickboxing and Muay Thai, and found an instructor that was very good with Wing Chun and Filipino martial arts. Trained that for several years in one-to-one sessions, but currently I'm training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with the Gracie Barra group under Salvatore Pace as well.
Yeah. Did you find that a lot of the skills you learned in the other martial arts that you just mentioned, like Wing Chun, transferable, or do you have to learn new techniques?
I think there are a lot of skills that do transfer over, and if you look at the technique, it's although it looks slightly different, the application of it again can be different, but some of the ways of using the body can be the same. Obviously between the grappling and striking there's a lot of differences, and you have to relearn, and certainly the grappling being so close, close quarter, which is something I think the Taekwondo is certainly it doesn't really cover. It's more of a long range art. So I think the different arts blend together quite well and give you more of a rounded skill set. Some skills transfer across, but it's always a learning process.
I know lineage is quite important in Korean martial arts. Can you tell us a little bit about your lineage of Jamie Woodland's Black Belt Academy?
So I trained originally with the THB, and that group, my instructors changed and formed the Professional Unification Martial Arts at the time. Years later, I moved away from that group and for a brief period trained with the BUTF, and I kind of became a bit despondent with the politics, and certainly once I started my own club I felt that it was about the students more than the arguing, and certainly with the things that I'd learned I wanted to bring those back into the club, and some associations wouldn't allow me to diversify and go outside of the Taekwondo box, so I found a multi-skill association under Master Mark Jinde, and it's the Black Belt Academies, Great Britain, and I've been with them for 15 years now, and they help me to run my school, they help me with anything I need, but we're very much a small association now.
Can you tell us what keeps you interested in Taekwondo after all these years, and what are your favourite parts of Taekwondo?
I love the kicking aspect of Taekwondo. I always have done, and although it's a bit trickier now as I'm going on in age, the hips get a little bit sore, but I still love the kicking, and I still love the patterns. Actually, I kind of came away from learning them as much, or wasn't as interested, but now I've come full circle, and there's so many benefits from the patterns, so I do enjoy the patterns and the kicking aspect of Taekwondo, and there's always a different combination of kicks to put together, and so that keeps me interested.
Great stuff. Do you or your club compete at any regional, national, European or world level tournaments?
We've not competed much in the past as a club, and certainly the emphasis has been on more individual improvement rather than competition. But in the last few years we've got more into open competition, and more freestyle competition. Each year we've been visiting Master White's Dragon Tang Sudo Open in Bristol. That's our annual competition where there's very like-minded people, very respectful, kind of the way we like to do things here. And but I do have guys that compete in kickboxing, and also have a small group of MMA guys that compete in that area as well.
Yeah, brilliant. What's been your biggest achievement?
My biggest achievement has probably been opening my own club. I initially set out just to teach a few people that wanted to learn, and eventually it grew.
Yeah.
And then people comment and say that I've got a natural way for teaching, so it progressed from there, and then the club grew. And just seeing people's achievements has been one of my biggest achievements to date. Although winning a Grand Champion Award at the Dragon Tang Sudo Open last year was quite good for me. It was like
fantastic.
The icing on the cake for my competition days, I guess.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. What would you say is the biggest positive influence Taekwondo has had upon you?
Probably the most important thing that it's given me as a quiet, timid individual is confidence. Certainly back at school, I was quite nervous to stand up in front of a group and talk.
Yeah.
And it's enabled me to be able to get over that, and certainly have more confidence in myself, and hopefully more confidence to deal with situation should it arise.
Yeah.
So definitely it's built me up in that. It sounds quite cliche, but I think martial arts in general are very good for this.
Yeah. If you could give one piece of advice to somebody that is beginning their martial arts journey now, what would it be?
My biggest piece of advice would be patience. I see too many people that want to jump from A to Z, and don't want to take the time to train and learn along the way, and do it the right way. They want to get the flashy kicks straight away, or just the end result. They want to be competing within a couple of months. And I think it's take your time, delve into the art, listen to your instructor as well. That's very important. Make sure that you listen to your instructor and be guided by them, and just be patient.
Yeah. Can you tell us about your teaching career?
I started as an assistant instructor back in 1997, and I would help my instructor at his clubs in Swindon, Wootton Bassett, Cricklade. I progressed on to teaching my original club once I was black belt, and then I opened my club in 2001. And I've been teaching pretty much full time since then, up to 6-7 days a week now, from young right up to adult.
Brilliant. What are your aims and goals in and outside of training?
My aim inside of training at my club is just to keep passing on what we do, passing on the valuable skills, not just physical skills, but the confidence, the respect. And we're quite a small community, and so we've got a good reputation as a club for doing that, and just to maintain that reputation, keep doing what we do. Outside of training, there's not too much time left, so I'm decorating.
It doesn't sound like it. Right.
Yeah, keeping the wife happy.
Oh, brilliant! Always good to do that.
We try.
To finish off, could you tell us about your classes for those interested in starting Taekwondo?
Yeah, we teach right from the age of 4 up to, well, there's no end, there's no limit really. We have little ninjas 4 to 7, and juniors 8 to 15, and our adults are 16 upwards. Classes most nights a week, and all split by age levels, and
Brilliant stuff. And what's the exact address of your academy?
We're at 16 Coombe End, Radstock, which is about 8 miles from Bath.
Excellent stuff. Well, Jamie, thank you very much for your time and talking to us at Enso Martial Arts. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.